We're in the Monday. The sky is Sunday. Oh man, depression, you are through. You done us wrong. Oh, we never see headlines about red line to them. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye. Oh, we're in the money. Come on, honey. Let's land it, bend it, stand it, rolling around. Boy, we're in the money. I say we're in the money. We don't want what it takes to get along. Let's go, we're in the money. Look up, the skies are sunny. Oh man, depression, you are through. You done us wrong. We never see a headline about red line today. And when we see the landlord, we look that guy right in the eye. We're in the money. Come on, honey. Let's spend it, rolling around. Here, weighing hay, the honey.
All right, so I've said to him, you can take your old job and shove it.
Mind my asking, Miss Wellington. I'm ready to read the new play anytime you are.
Just a minute, Terry. Just a minute.
There's only one thing. I hope you don't mind my mentioning this, Miss Wellington, but you don't drink when you're acting, do you? I'm just asking, of course.
I'm glad you brought it up. Once the play opens, I never touch a drop. Minute I enter the stage door, the bottle gets put away until intermission.
Have you been on stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
All my life, I've played everything. Ever see Peg of My Heart?
Yeah.
I saw it too.
Oh.
Good show. My hot night, ain't it?
You want me to open up a window, Miss Wellington?
No, the hell with the weather! Hey, he's cute.
She don't mean it, Reba. She's only acting.
We can start whenever you're ready, Miss Wellington. We go to my room and start. I thought I'd read the play up in my room. My room? Read? Play?
All right, Jerry. I'm ready. When I see six, it's time to lie down.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, Miss Wellington, those are real. They're Grandpa's. They're real. Oh, I hope she's not going to. Miss Wellington!
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
Reba, Miss Wellington just passed out.
I hope she's going to be all right.
Well, I wouldn't cast her in a religious play.
I suppose I'll just have to wait.
The next time you meet an actress at the top of a bus, Penny, I'll send her the script rather than having you bring her home to read it.
Ed, I wish you'd stop all that printing and take those love dreams around. You've got to be back in time to play for me when Kalinkov comes.
Klinkov's coming tonight?
Uh-huh. Tomorrow's his night, but I had to change it on account of Ellen.
Oh, that's right. Big doings going on tonight.
I'm so excited and nervous, too. It's almost like he's proposed to me instead of Alice.
You know, I wonder what they'll be like, his mother and father. Ed, what are you doing now?
Penny, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Oh, now, don't tell me. Let me guess. Helena Troy. Right?
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know, the nice thing about these Meccano sets, you can make so many different things with them. Last week I built the Empire State Building.
Mr. DePinna, would you open the door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Why? What for?
Well, For the last 2 days when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me and he stands and he watches the house.
I'll go look, see. I can't see why anybody would be following Ed.
Oh, but there's been a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not of Ed.
Well, did you see him?
There's nobody out there.
You sure?
I'm positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
It could have been anyone walking along the street, Ed. Now will you hurry and deliver those love drinks and get back, please?
Oh, all right.
Mr. Sycamore, don't you think we should go down to the basement and finish packing up the fireworks?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to take up to Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, may I please borrow some paper? I'm writing out a list for Reba tomorrow.
Oh, yes, dear. Here's some.
I'll have another.
What happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
Oh, no, Alice. She's really drunk.
Elsie, dear, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, aren't you? Because she'll need it.
Yes, Alice. I'm going to get started on some love dreams now, so I'm way ahead.
Thanks, dear. Mother, I'm going to be home by 3 o'clock tomorrow. That'll give you time to get everything done in the cellar, right? The typewriter and the snakes and the xylophone and the printing press and
Miss Wellington.
Miss Wellington. That'll give you time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
Kirby's are going to get the wrong impression about this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother?
Oh, yes, dear.
And maybe we should have cocktails ready by 7:15 in case they come early. You know, I wonder if we should have Reba cook the dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Oh, I wouldn't worry. From what I've seen of the boy, the Kirbys are going to be nice people. As long as things aren't too elaborate, everything ought to be just all right.
Well, darling, I'm not trying to impress them or make it seem like we're anything that we're not. I just want everything to go off well.
No reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We're going to do everything we can to make it a nice party for you.
Oh, my darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. Why, I didn't know anyone could be so happy. Oh, this past week, it's been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
Just seeing him? Just seeing him for lunch, for dinner, till 4 o'clock in the morning? And then the next morning at 9 o'clock, there he is in the office. Just seeing him?
I don't care, I'm in love. Reba! Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
I can remember how happy I was when I was engaged to Paul, and I still am.
I remember. Nice the way Ed and Nessie are getting along too, isn't it?
And Donald and Reba, even though they're not married. Do you think Mr. DePina will ever marry anyone, Grandpa?
Well, there is Miss Wellington.
Oh, dear, I wish you'd wake up. We could get that play read tonight. No?
Mr. Sycamore, look what I found. Remember?
Yes, of course. That's the painting I did of you as a discus thrower.
Yeah.
Look, Grandpa.
I remember. Say, you've gotten a little bald, haven't you, Mr. DePina?
Is that noticeable? There's some over here yet.
Well, that was a long time ago when I did my last painting. Let's see, it was 8 years ago.
Oh, how come you never finished it, Mrs. Sycamore?
I always meant to, you know, but then I wrote that play that one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
Just as well. I was going to have to strip next.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, who would have thought that when I came into River Dice here one day, I'd be here for 8 years?
Milkman was here for 5, just ahead of you.
Oh, why did he leave, Grandpa?
Oh, he didn't leave. He died.
Oh,
Oh, he was such a nice man. Remember that funeral, Grandpa? We never knew his name, and we had a hard time getting that certificate.
What name did we finally make up for him?
Your name, remember? Martin Vanderhoff.
That's right. Now I remember.
And it was such a lovely idea, too. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten all those flowers.
Certainly was. Didn't do me any harm. Haven't been bothered with any mail since, and haven't had a telephone call from that day till this.
That was really a wonderful idea.
you know, I really wish you'd finish that, Mrs. Sycamore. I'd like to have it.
You know, why don't I work on it right tonight?
You will?
I don't think she's going to wake up anytime soon. Why don't you go down and get your costume on in the cellar and bring up the easel? Is that still down there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Okay, I'm going to see where my palette and my brushes are, I think.
Ravishka! My little Ravishka!
Yes, sir, Mr. Klinkoff.
Oh, hi, Mr. Klinkoff. Effie's in the kitchen.
Madam Sigmund, I greet you. Tell me, Grandpa, what should I do with my Ravishka here? I keep telling her she would make great toe dancer. But she laughs only.
Oh, no. I couldn't get up on my toes, Mr. Klinkoff. I've got corn.
Oh, Ravishka, you could wear diamonds. Oh, she's a great girl, Grandpa. What is that?
That's a picture of Mr. DePina. Penny painted it.
Oh, it stinks.
I know. How do you like that?
What is that?
She's an actress, a friend of Penny's.
Why, is there a fly in my drink?
She's drunk, no?
She's drunk, yes. So how have you been, Klinkoff?
Ah, magnificent. Life is chasing around inside of me like a squirrel.
So, what's new in Russia? Got any letters from that friend of yours in Moscow?
I have just heard from him. I say for you, the stamp.
Ah, thanks, Klinkoff.
They have sent him to Siberia.
They have, huh? How does he like it?
He's escaped. He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get them yet if they do not get him. The Soviet government. I could take the whole Soviet government and...
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Klinkoff. I'll get in my dancing clothes right away.
Tonight you really work, Pavlova. Tonight we try something new.
Has he making any progress?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Oh, just so long as she's having fun.
You sure to tickle Reba, Mr. Klinkoff. She's laughing her head off out there.
She's a great woman. Donald, what do you think of the Soviet government?
The what, Mr. Klinkoff?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, I like it fine. Well, I'm on relief, you know.
Ah, yes. Do you like it?
Yes, sir, it's fine. Well, only thing is, you gotta go round to the place every week to get it. And sometimes you gotta stand in line for almost half an hour. Government ought to be run better than that, don't you think, Grandpa?
The government ought to stop sending me letters. I have to appear at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Look at that.
Ah, income tax. They have got you, Grandpa.
I'm supposed to give them a lot of money in order to keep Donald on relief.
You don't say, Grandpa? You're gonna pay for it from now on?
Well, that's what they want.
You mean I could come around here every week and get it instead of standing in that line?
No, I'm afraid you'll still have to waste a full half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. Breaks up my week.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then he would have stood in line, a bread line. Oh, think of it, Grandpa. What have they done to my Russia? Think of this. The Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina, a cousin to the Tsar, is now a waitress at Child's restaurant. I ordered the baked beans from her only yesterday. It broke my heart. It's crazy world, Grandpa.
Oh, the world's not so crazy. It's just the people in it. Life is kind of simple if you just relax.
Well, how can you relax at times like these?
Oh, there wouldn't be times like this if people could just relax. Life is kind of beautiful if you just let it come to you. Now, most people forget that. You know, I did. There I was, right in the thick of things. Fighting, scratching, clawing, a regular jungle. Then suddenly it struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
And so you did what?
I just relaxed. 35 years ago, and I've been happy ever since.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Klinkoff.
Ah, Miss Alice! I have not yet seen you to present my congratulations.
Thank you.
May you be very happy and have many, many children. That is my prayer for you.
Well, that's quite a thought.
Ah, love. Love is all that's left in this world, Grandpa.
Yes, but there's plenty of that.
And soon, Stalin will take that away, too. I tell you, Grandpa.
Oh, it feels so nice to be in my art things again. They still look all right, don't they, Grandpa?
Ah, yes, indeed, Penny.
You are a breath of Paris, Madam Sigmore.
Thank you, Mr. Playcock.
It happened again. There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Oh, that's nonsense, Ed. It's all imagination.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Well, maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody's followed. I was followed right out of Russia.
Yes, of course, you see? The whole thing's imagination.
Well, maybe. Miss Sigmore, what do you want this?
How about putting it over there?
Ed, for tonight's lesson, we use the first movement of Scheherazade.
Okay.
Something happened to your figure over these 8 years, Mr. Dupina?
I don't think so.
Oh, Miss Wellington? Oh, are you all right? Oh, huh? Oh, dear.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Kalinkoff. I couldn't find my slippers.
We have a hot night for it tonight, my fair Lola. But art is only achieved through perspiration. You hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Wonderful, Mr. Klinkoff. Did you hear it, Grandpa?
Yes.
Art is only achieved through perspiration.
But it helps to have a little talent to go along with it. I only made 2 bullseyes last night. I have to do better than that.
Okay, you ready? We begin.
Okay.
First, we start with the pirouette. Come, you can do it. It's been 8 years now. Entreshot. Try the entreshot. No, Grandpa, you cannot relax with Stalin in Russia. The Tsar relaxed, and what happened to him?
He was too late.
Mr. Klinkoff! Mr. Klinkoff!
If he had not relaxed, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina would not be selling baked beans today.
Mr. Klinkoff!
Oh, I'm sorry. We go back to the pirouette. Pirouette.
Could you pull on your stomach, Mr. Dupina? That's right.
A little freer. Freer with the hands. The whole body must be free. Ahead, help us with the music. The music must be free too.
Sycamore? Yes, Reba.
Good evening.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Are we too early?
No, come right on in. It's perfectly all right. We're glad to see you.
Yes, I thought it was tomorrow night, though.
Tomorrow night?
What? No, it's perfectly all right. Just make yourself at home.
Tony, how could you have possibly...
I thought it was tonight.
Really, Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, not at all. We weren't doing anything.
No, just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. Don't let it bother you. Let me introduce you. This is Mrs. Sycamore, Alice's mother.
How do you do?
And this is her sister, Mrs. Carmichael. And over here in the corner is Mr. Carmichael. And that's Mr. Kolenkoff. And this is Mr. Dupina.
Oh, how do you do? How do you do? Excuse the costume. I'll take it right off.
Mr. DePina, why don't you go down and tell Mr. Sycamore to come upstairs that the Kirbys are here.
And tell him to put on his pants.
All right.
Excuse me. Alice, dear. Would you come down, dear? We have a little surprise for you. Well.
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Well, if you're certain that we're really not going...
Oh, don't be alarmed. They're perfectly harmless.
Just save the things. Get rid of them.
Put them in the kitchen, Ed.
Of course, we're quite used to them around here.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but snakes just happen to be...
I feel very uncomfortable about this. Tony, how could you have done such a thing?
I'm sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight.
It was very careless of you, very.
Oh, but Mr. Kirby mix-ups happen all the time.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? They came for dinner, you know.
Oh, really? Don't go to any bother. We're really not hungry at all.
Oh, it's no bother. And run down to the have Donald run down to the A&P, get a half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Please, don't bother, Mrs. Sycamore. I have a bit of indigestion anyway.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm rather fond of it.
You could have frankfurters if you prefer.
Either one will do.
Okay, make it frankfurters, some canned corn, and some Campbell soup. Got that?
Okay.
And tell him to hurry. Here, the A&P's just down around the corner, and frankfurters take no time at all to boil.
And here's Mr. Sycamore, Alice's father, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
I hope you'll forgive my appearance.
Well, this is Mr. Sycamore's busy time of year, just before the 4th of July. He's always so
Darling. Oh, I thought it was tonight.
Tony, I thought you... I'm so sorry. I don't know how I could have you all met.
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Oh, darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you, my dear. We've all just met a night sooner, that's all.
Of course.
It's just that I had such a nice party planned for tomorrow.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
Oh, well, there you are. Am I forgiven, Alice?
I guess so. It's just that I thought we'd better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all been taken care of, Alice. It's all been attended to.
Mother, what did you send for? Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion. He can only eat certain things.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Of course it's all right, darling.
I asked him what he wanted, Alice.
Yes, but...
Now, it's not as serious as all that. Just because I have a little indigestion.
Perhaps it is not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby. Perhaps you suffer from stomach ulcers.
Oh. Mr. Kolenkov, don't be absurd.
I am a Russian, I understand that. But, listen, he could suffer from stomach ulcers.
Really?
Mr. Kolenkov, Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion, and that's it.
All right, let him wait.
So, please sit down, Mr. Kirby. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
So how do you find the business conditions? Are we pretty much out of the depression?
Well, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
Well, and you figure that things will keep on improving?
Broadly speaking, yes. Currently, the market is operating at 64% of capacity, as opposed to 82% in 1925. Of course, in 1929,
Simply because you're
Who's that?
heavy, funny, but when you're near me, I feel love. Heaven is in your eyes, bright as the sun will wonder. Oh, is it any wonder? I'm the road to love. I'm the
Oh, I know that may seem strange to you, but she is not accountable for her actions. She's a friend of Mrs. Sycamore who came to dinner and was, overcome by the heat.
Oh. Yes, you know, people react very differently to things like that. I'm going to go check on her. Excuse me, please.
Yeah, it is very hot. You usually escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby, up in Maine?
As a rule, of course, this week I had to come down for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot of her year.
Oh, I won a blue ribbon at a flower show once for raising onions. Remember, Ellen?
I see that was a garden show.
Oh.
I think she'll be all right now. Has Donald come back yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he'll be right back, and it won't take any time at all. He must be starved.
Oh, no, quite all right. Oh, hello, what's this? I didn't know you had little children in the house.
Oh, no, this is mine.
Oh, really? Well, I suppose every man has his hobby, or do you use it as a model of some sort?
No, I just play with it.
I see.
Well, maybe you'd be better off if you had a hobby like that, Dad, and instead of raising orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do tell us all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. I heard they take 6 years before they can blossom. Isn't that right? Think of that.
Some of them take longer than that. I've got one coming along now I've been waiting 10 years for.
Well, believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Yes, of course, in that time, they require the most scrupulous care. I remember...
Donald, did you get everything?
Yes, ma'am. Only they were all out of Frankfurters, so I got pickled pig's feet.
Oh, that's fine, Donald. Just... Mr. Kirby, please, tell them all about your orchids. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. Excuse me.
Pretty expensive hobby, isn't it, raising orchids?
Yes, it is. But I feel that if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never expensive.
Well, that's quite true.
You see, I need something to relieve the daily nerve strain. After a week on Wall Street, I would go crazy if I didn't have something like that. A lot of men I know have yachts, just for that very reason.
Why don't they give up Wall Street?
How's that?
Oh, just joking.
I believe it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, to me, it's much more than a hobby. But my great solace is spiritualism.
Spiritualism? But everybody knows that's a fake, Mrs. Kirby.
Mother, to me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss it with you, Mrs. Sycamore.
Now wait a minute, Penny. You've got a hobby or two of your own.
But not silly ones.
It doesn't matter what the hobby is, just so long as you have one.
To be ideal, a hobby should improve the body as well as the mind. The Romans were great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling.
Wrestling.
In wrestling, you have to think quick with the mind and act quick with the body.
Yes, but I'm afraid wrestling isn't very practical for most of us. I myself wouldn't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You could be great wrestler. You are built for it. Look.
Where are my glasses?
They're right here, Mr. Kirby. They're broke.
Oh, I am sorry. But when you wrestle again, Mr. Kirby, you'll of course not wear glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Kalinka.
All right.
Mr. Kalinka, how could you? Why didn't anybody stop him?
I think if you don't mind, perhaps we had better be going.
No, Mrs. Kirby, please don't go. Mr. Kirby, I ordered plain salad and scrambled eggs for you. Please don't go.
I am sorry. And if I did something wrong, I apologize.
I can't tell you how sorry I am.
That's quite all right.
Of course it's all right, darling. We're not going.